get stressed or nervous when exams are mentioned?
No,
Why?
because it's better not to worry.
We also asked year 8 boy the same thing. Do you get stressed or nervous when exams are mentioned?
I did in year 7, but as I've got through in school, sort of not stressed no more.
In year 7, what did you do to relieve the stress?
Well, I didn't think about it that much because I had lots of sort of tests in my year, in year 7, so sort of got me used to it.
Pupils in useful maths again. We asked a maths teacher, do you find exam periods stressful and why?
I find them very stressful. The reasons I find them stressful is because although it's not your results that you're getting, you are concerned about the results of the pupils, so you want them to do as well as possible. So when you've got them in your class, you constantly honour them to make sure they're working. You're also constantly honouring them to make sure they're working in their own time. You're trying to make sure you've got enough past papers, example questions for them. At the moment with the year 11s, we're marking a paper every week. So I give them a paper on a Monday, they give me on a Friday, then I have to mark that and grade it for them by the following Monday. So yeah, very stressful.
What do you do to relieve the stress?
Make sure that I have some time to relax. So you could work constantly. So if you do GCSE groups, you could just keep working all the way through the weekend and think of things to do for them. But just make sure you have some downtime. So go and relax at the weekends for part of the weekend when you're not marking. Do I do any activities? Sometimes go out on my bike. So go for a bike ride. Maybe go out for a nice Sunday dinner somewhere. Something like that.
So the same thing. Do you find exams times stressful?
As a teacher, or do I see it sort of as stressful for you pupils, or both? It's definitely stressful for me as a teacher. Obviously, we've got deadlines we've got to teach to. We have to have coursework done by a certain date and sent off, otherwise your marks might be affected. Obviously, there's a lot of content that we've got to get through to make sure everyone knows what's going to be on the exam, and that has to be done by the exam. We can't do it after the exam. The other stress is that currently the government are changing the exams. This will be good news for you in year 8. They are making them tougher. They are making them harder all the time. So whereas before I was confident that I knew exactly what examiners were looking for, with new tougher exams, it's even harder for us again. And for you lot, again, they're making it tougher. They're removing lots of modular exams. So a lot of your exams you will have to sit all at the end of year 11, building that pressure up. So it's a really stressful time, both for you trying to revise and make those final exams and meet those deadlines, but for us as well, because if we don't make them, we could lose our jobs, and nobody wants that.
What activities do you do to relieve the stress?
To relieve my stress, every Friday I leave here bang on time. It's the only day of the week I do. But on Fridays I leave bang on time. I go straight to Pontypool Active Living Centre and I try and swim 64 lengths a mile and totally empty my head.
Is there any recommendations you could give to stressed pupils?
You've got to do the work, okay? You've got to do the revising, but you need to have a life as well. What I do when I'm mentoring pupils in my form, in year 10 and 11, we put together little revision timetables, and there's two things I always do with those. One, make sure that revision periods stop after an hour, and that you go for a walk, clear your head. And also, when I put together a revision timetable, I make sure that nothing is done on a Saturday and nothing is done on a Friday night, because if you revise constantly, it's almost as bad as not revising at all. You need to take regular breaks. You need to have a day off on the weekend to clear your mind completely.
Thank you for your time.